Hello and welcome to this channel. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload each day. Whispers of the Lost Woods, a tale of darkness and descent. In the heart of an ancient forest, the sun cast dappled patterns through the thick canopy, creating a mosaic of light and shadow on the forest floor. John, an adventurous soul seeking solace in nature, embarked on a seemingly innocuous walk, his footsteps softly crunching leaves as he meandered along the trail. Birds sang harmoniously, their melodies a comforting backdrop to his tranquil stroll. However, as the minutes turned to hours, the trail's familiarity began to wane. The once clear markers now appeared faint, as if they were fading into the very trees they adorned. John's pulse quickened, a nervous energy prickling at the back of his neck. He decided to retrace his steps, but the path ahead seemed distorted, no longer matching his memory of the route. He brushed aside his unease, chalking it up to his imagination's playfulness. Hours stretched on, and the sun gradually sank behind the horizon, casting the forest into eerie shadows. Forest that was once his solace now bore an unsettling weight. The rustling of leaves in the distance turned into whispers that seemed to echo his name. He glanced over his shoulder, but no one was there. He quickened his pace, each step carrying him deeper into the heart of the woods. As the last remnants of daylight slipped away, darkness engulfed the forest, leaving John with only a weak flashlight to guide his way. His heart raced, and every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, became a deafening crescendo of fear in his ears. He tried to regain his composure, to convince himself that the woods held no true danger. Yet, an unshakable sense of foreboding clung to him like a heavy cloak. The night air grew cold and damp, the moon's feeble glow illuminating eerie shapes and distorted trees that seemed to warp and twist as if alive. A feeling of being watched seeped into John's mind, igniting a primal instinct to flee. But whichever path he chose only led him deeper into the labyrinthine maze of trees. His flashlight flickered, casting intermittent shadows that danced like malevolent spirits around him. A sense of unease turned into outright panic as whispers grew louder, forming haunting phrases that seemed to drift from the very air. Lost, forever, forlorn. The words wormed their way into his consciousness, sowing seeds of despair. John's heart pounded, and sweat soaked his brow. He stumbled, his foot catching on an exposed root, sending him sprawling to the ground. He gasped for breath, his flashlight skittering from his hand, its beam extinguished. Utter darkness enveloped him, and the forest's chilling symphony seemed to crescendo to a deafening roar. His fingers scrabbled at the forest floor, searching desperately for his only source of light. But instead of the flashlight, his hand brushed against something cold and wet. He recoiled, his fingers coming away slick with a sticky substance. Panic coursed through his veins, and he forced himself to his feet, stumbling through the darkness. With each step, the forest seemed to close in on him, suffocating and oppressive. Shadows twisted into monstrous forms, and the whispers grew to a cacophony of disembodied voices that taunted and tormented him. John's mind teetered on the edge of sanity, his grip on reality slipping. And then a figure emerged from the darkness, an indistinct shape that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. It was neither human nor animal, but an unsettling fusion of both. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, fixated on John with an intensity that pierced his soul. Paralyzed by fear, John could only watch as the creature drew closer, its presence radiating malevolence. It spoke, its voice a chilling harmony of whispers, each word crawling like a spider down his spine. "You are ours now, lost, forever, one of us." The words resonated within him, drowning out his last shreds of hope. As the creature's shadowy form enveloped him, John's screams echoed through the forest, mingling with the chorus of whispers that had haunted him. The forest absorbed his terror, his very essence becoming a part of its dark tapestry. And so, the man who had ventured into the woods, seeking solace, became one with the very nightmare that had ensnared him, lost to the eternal darkness that lurked within. Years passed, and the forest retained its eerie hold over the lost soul, now just another whisper in the wind. The creature that had claimed him became a spectral guardian of the woods, an enigmatic presence that inspired both fear and fascination in those who ventured too close. Rumors spread like wildfire among the nearby townsfolk, tales of a cursed forest that devoured the souls of those who dared enter its depths. The whispers of the lost soul seemed to resonate within the minds of those who listened, a haunting refrain that both lured and warned. The legend grew, attracting the curious and the foolhardy, drawn to the dark allure of the woods. One such individual was Emily, an intrepid explorer driven by an insatiable curiosity. Armed with a determination to uncover the truth behind the stories, she set out on a fateful expedition, guided by tales of the man who had vanished into the forest clutches. Ignoring the villagers' dire warnings, Emily ventured into the heart of the woods, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. As Emily's footsteps crunched on the forest floor, a faint breeze carried with it the echo of distant whispers. The air grew heavy, each step leading her deeper into the labyrinthine paths that seemed to shift and change before her eyes. Despite the growing unease, Emily pressed on, the allure of discovery overpowering her fear. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that seemed to reach out like spectral fingers. Emily's flashlight pierced the encroaching darkness, a beacon of both guidance and vulnerability. She tried to maintain her composure, reminding herself that there must be a logical explanation for the tales that had taken root. Hours stretched into the night, and Emily's resolve began to waver. The forest played tricks on her senses, whispering her name in the breeze, mimicking footsteps just beyond her hearing. Doubt gnawed at her once confident steps faltering as uncertainty gnawed at her mind. With each passing minute, the forest seemed to tighten its grip, distorting reality and filling the air with an oppressive energy. Shadows danced at the edge of Emily's vision, and her heart raced in time with the distant whispers that seemed to grow louder with each step. She stumbled upon the remnants of a campsite, long abandoned, a stark reminder of the man who had vanished here. Emily's breath caught as she felt a presence, an intangible weight that settled over her like a shroud. She turned, her flashlight casting wild beams of light into the darkness, revealing twisted trees that seemed to leer at her. And then she saw the same creature that had claimed the man before her, its form shifting and flickering in the dim light. The creature's eyes locked onto Emily, and a voice like a chorus of souls filled her ears. "Join us, become one with the forest, lost, forever." The words burrowed into her mind, resonating with a dark allure that tugged at her very soul. Fear and fascination battled within Emily as she stood frozen, the creature's gaze holding her captive. Her thoughts whirled, torn between the desire to flee and an inexplicable longing to understand the secrets of the forest. Just as the creature drew closer, a flash of memory pierced Emily's mind, the faces of the villagers who had warned her, the stories of the lost souls, the darkness that had claimed the man before her. With a surge of determination, she tore her gaze away, fighting the pull of the creature's gaze. She turned and ran, the forest closing in around her, the whispers echoing in her ears. The night seemed endless as Emily navigated the twisted paths, every shadow and sound conspiring to keep her captive. But with every step her resolve grew stronger. As dawn broke, casting its golden rays through the trees, Emily burst through the forest's edge, her breath ragged, her heart pounding. She collapsed onto the ground, her mind reeling from the horrors she had witnessed. The forest stood silent behind her, its secrets remaining shrouded in darkness. Emily knew that the legend would live on, a cautionary tale of the woods that claimed lost souls, a place where the boundaries of reality and nightmare blurred. And as Emily caught her breath, she couldn't shake the feeling that the whispers lingered, carried on the wind, a haunting reminder of the darkness that dwelled within the heart of the ancient forest. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.